All right, let's see what we're gonna work with today. So I got the kit from Pro Parts USA. It's a whole kit. It came with 3 belts, accessory belts, a timing belt. What is this? Tensioner spring. We also got the seal for the crankshaft, the tensioner, and the water pump. Got 2 seals for the camshaft, and some grommets, valve cover, and a separate package. I bought the mount as well. It's gonna need this sucker as well. Pretty sure mine is shot because it's hella old. Alrighty, before you remove the wheel, it's 5 nuts. Just loosen them up, and then jack up the car. Then put some jack stands on it. I put one right here. Where that metal piece is at, that's where I put mine at, and I support it with another jack and another jack right here underneath the oil pan with a piece of wood so you don't damage your oil pan. And after that, you can just remove the wheel. And then I also put my wheels over there just for safety, because I panic like that. Freak move. There's another one over here, but mine is gone already. It's located right here. All right, so after taking out the 2 plastic screws, I'm just gonna bend this thing back. All right, it shouldn't break. It's hella plain of plastic. And we're gonna remove this bolt right here, is 19 mil. And later on, I'm gonna remove this mount as well. Alright, next up we're going to remove the ground from the engine. Take that out. I'm going to start on the right side. I'm going to remove the cruise control. There's 3 10 mil ones over there. You don't have to take that out, you can just loosen that up. And 2 back here. 1, 2. Take those out. And then we're going to swing this thing over there. After that, we're going to work on the power steering. Right here, we're going to take all that out. And we're gonna probably put it around here. And after that, we're gonna work on the motor mount. All right, it's gonna be 2 17s over here and 3 14s around. We'll take them out, and if it's really stuck, I'll show you how I did it. All right, so this thing right here, told you not to take that out. You don't have to. It's just gonna slide out, just like that. And oops, pop these suckers out. These tubes. 1, 2, and then, oh yeah, don't forget about this clip right here. It just comes out. Just press on the tab right here, and it comes out. Now we could safely get this sucker over here, just like that. All right, next we're gonna remove the power steering. There's gonna be 2 bolts, 12 mil, one here, and the other one's right there. This one right here, okay. Before you remove this, see the motor mount right here? There's 2 7 mil right there. Just spray it with the WD-40, just a little bit right there, because you're gonna have a hard time later on taking it out. So spray it, let it sit there for a while. Come back to that after we remove the power steering. So when you're removing the power steering, for this one right here, okay, what I'm gonna do, if it's really tight, I'm gonna grab one of these suckers, Mr. Piper, call it. All right, put it right here, and just go, boom. Okay, should come out. There you go. All right, after taking the 2 mils out from the power steering, all right, you can the belt will be loose. You can take it out, and then to follow this tube right here, boom, to the bracket. There's a 14 mil right here. Take that out. All right, and after that, see the tank? If you get a flathead or what you call that, a pry bar, whatever you got, man, you can you just pry that thing up right there, or you can wiggle it enough that it'll just come out. All right, see, that one's already off. Boom. So to get the power steering off, the easiest way for me is to pull it towards you. Okay, see that? Pull it towards you, then you'll have enough room. Take it out. All you need to do is this rubber right here on the side. Just come out. Hard to do it with one hand. So the power steering kept getting on my way. So to have more room, I moved it to this side over here instead of on top of the windshield washer tank. Just moved it over here and strapped it with a plastic tie to this metal piece right here, and then to this metal tube, and it's holding pretty well. To take the two 17mm nuts, get your most powerful ratchet, breaker bar, whatever, man. But I'm just using a 3/8 crazy little crappy ratchet I got. But I'm gonna use this Mr. Piper. All right, just put it in there and just work on it, man. There you go. All right, so that one's off. Just don't. There you go. Don't try to force it. If you think it's gonna snap your ratchet, just go ahead and spray more the WD-40 or blaster, and come back again later and try again. All right. So see, both mine are loose. Easy peasy, man. After that, take the two 17mm. After that, the three 14s. 1, 2, and 3. Take all of them out, and then you'll see the motor mount will come out. All right, off she goes, just like that. Boom. All right. So if you want more room, see the bracket right here? 2 10mm right here for the power steering. This is the bracket for the power steering tank. All right, next we're gonna loosen the alternator bolts. The top one is 12, and the one in the bottom, which is missing in my car, it's 14mm. And just in case this thing is put on very tightly, like mine, spray it with a little WD-40, and then put a towel down there so it doesn't go in the alternator. And after that, just grab a cheater bar. Alright, so I got my wrench over there, and I'm gonna put this cheater bar over here, and I'm just gonna boom, just like that, off. So I got mine off. Once again, before you start attempting to loosen it up, just spray some WD-40, leave it there for a while, just in case, so you don't strip the bolts or the nut. See, mine is pretty much stripped. Got lucky this time. I wasn't able to take it out, so I'm gonna have to replace this sucker down. So once again, just loosen it up. Don't take it out, but unless you're taking the alternator out. All right, the 14mm is right there, guys. Right here, which is once again, mine is missing. Whoever worked in this car before didn't put it back on, so it has it right there. Just take that out if you have it on yours. If you don't, then buy a new one. 14mm. I bought some new nuts. This is the 14 in the bottom. This is the 12 up top, and these are the temporary ones I used. Got these from AutoZone. Once you got the alternator loose, what you want to do is hold the alternator, and you're just gonna push it towards you, so towards the front of the car, and then it should loosen it up. Loosen up the belt. Once the belt is loose, the belt's right here. If you guys can see that, you see the belt's loose right now, right here. All right. So what you want to do, once again, just push the alternator towards you. All right, and you should be able to loosen the belt and take it out. All right, so to remove the belt, I started from the bottom, and just comes out. You loosen it that way, find it way easier to do that than starting from the top. So there you go. That's your belt right there, man. Loose. Once it's loose, you can hook it from the top as well. Really easy. Release the tension on the AC belt right here. All right, you're gonna work with 3 things. Number 1, there's gonna be a bolt right here. It's a 12 mil right here. You want to loosen that up. This one right here with my wrench. Loosen that sucker up. And then you're gonna loosen this nut right here. It's also a 12. You can use a wrench or a ratchet if you want. I'll show you later. Once it's loose, you can just twist that thing around till it looks like that. And after that, to release the tension, you could twist this right here. This is a 7 mil. This little bolt right here, a screw bolt, 7 mil. You can twist it around just like that, and then you can see the tension of the belt just lax. Now it's pretty loose right now. You keep twisting it around all the way up if you want to, but just don't take it out. And then you can take the belt out pretty easy. And if you want the tension later on, you're gonna adjust it with this screw right here. Go this way to adjust that. It'll tighten it up. Okay. And then once you're satisfied with the tension, you just put this nut back just like that. All right, until it's tight, and then you tighten this sucker up too. Okay, this is a 12 mil, and this is a 7 mil right here. All right, so that thing just hangs in there for now until we get rid of this motor mount down here, right over here. All right. All right, to remove the last belt, which is the AC belt, which is hanging right here right now, we need to remove this motor mount right here. It's a 19 mil socket. All right. Before you do that, make sure you support the engine by putting a hydraulic jack. All right, and I'll put a piece of wood in there so I won't damage the oil pan. Cleaned it up, and I'm going to take it out. I'm using a 1/2-inch ratchet with a 19 mil long socket. And again, if it locks up on you, it's so hard to take out, just use a cheater bar. All right, always works pretty easy. You'll get it out that way. Guys, so once all the bolts are out, you want to lower the jack just a little bit so this thing could come down. Alright, so before and after. This one's shot, the mount's shot. Chances are, if you're replacing your belt, you might as well have one of these. Make sure you buy one of these, because chances are this thing is shot pretty much. So you have to replace that. And check your bolts. I know one's good, but the other one's kind of messed up. It's kind of hard to take it out. So I was loosening the bolt up, and then felt some resistance. So what I did was tighten it back up again. Kept doing that, rinse, repeat until I was able to take it out. Because you don't want to break this bolt. Alright, that's it for that. Now we can just take the belt out. By the way, I labeled every belt I have. Alright guys, since all the belts are off, now we can start draining the coolant. Just open the radiator cap. So with a needle nose plier, remove the radiator drain bolt. It's located driver's side, bottom of the radiator, right below this fan right here. Alright, right there. And then we'll just let it drain. While it's draining the coolant, we're gonna start removing the valve cover, and all the good stuff. We're gonna have to take this out. PCV. I think this comes out. Boom. There you go. We're gonna unhook that, and then a bunch of 10 mil bolts. So it's gonna be one right here, one right here, one right there. Right there. After you take this thing off, take that off, take that off, take that off, that, all right, and then You can use a flathead or a little pry bar to pry this thing open. All right, I'm not gonna show it to you guys because it's pretty easy to do. And take this wire out too, and just swing it back. There you go. So it stays up there, and we can take out the ignition coils. I did take out my spark plugs as well. Alright, once you take out the cover, just in case you want to wrap this up, just put a plastic cover in it and a rubber band. That'll work in case something gets in it. Alright, so I took the valve cover off, and right away I noticed that this plastic part right here, it's actually caved in. It's inside the actual cam on both sides. I don't know if you can see that right there, right over there. It's inside, and when I checked, it's super loose. And it's pretty bad shape anyways, man. It's actually grinding on this thing right here, on the plastic part. All right, so next we're gonna remove this plastic cover, the valve cover, right? There's gonna be two 10 mils, one right here, and one right there. Okay, take both of them out. All right, once you got the bolts removed, pretty much just pull this sucker out. It comes out, easy peasy. All right, it looks like the coolant's done draining, so we're just gonna plug it back up. We're gonna make sure our TDC marks are correct. So you're gonna see that word up, one right there, and the other one's right here. It says up. We'll make sure that they're facing up. They're gonna end up being over here and over here. Okay, and then we're gonna follow the two lines over here on the cam. One's over here, right there, and the other one, where did they go? Right there. Okay, we're going to make sure both lines right here, this line and this line right here, will be right here in the center. All right, I'll show you how to do that right now. Counterclockwise, and it should turn the wheel up top, the camshaft. Do that until the marks are dead center, and you're good to go. Looks pretty even. All right. Alright, so I tried to line them up as best as I can. There's two lines right there. Seems like my timing is off by a little bit, but as soon as I could put these two drill bits in there, I was pretty satisfied with it. So I just went with that. Two lines are even right there, or close to even anyways. Both up symbols are up here, and yeah, once again, these two drill bits fit. Then I start removing the crank bolt. On the crank pulley, right there where my light is at right now, right there. Alright, you want to make sure that plastic part of the Thailand belt cover is actually lined up with that line in the crank pulley. Okay? Using a shooter bar, I got this from Home Depot, and 1/2 inch with an impact socket. Should work pretty good, man. This harmonic balancer removal tool kept slipping, and my breaker bar kept slipping, so I then couldn't fit it in there. So basically what I did was I just angled it all the way down there until it got tight. So it's super tight now. All right, so remove the bolt. All right, to remove the sucker, just wiggle it. Wiggle it just a little bit. Watch the key. Oh, there it is. Key is down. Thing's off though, man, for sure. All right, remember, key is a piece of square rectangle. Goes in there, guys. See that? Goes in there. So don't forget to put this sucker back when you're putting it back together. Next, we got to remove the timing belt cover. Right here, that's 5 10mm bolts. One right here, and here, and right there. And on the top, it's gonna be right here, right over here. It's kind of hard to see it, but it's there. That side right there, guys. And you're going to see a bracket in there as well, but mine is missing, or it's still in the wire, and the bolt is gone. And as you can see, this crank sensor wire is just hanging here. So I'm surprised this car, man, thank goodness, nothing happened. But I could see there's scrapes over here from the belt. So it was hitting this part right here, the wire. Pretty dangerous. And then underneath this metal piece, there's gonna be a 10mm underneath there. It's hidden, so you're gonna have to feel for it and use your 10mm socket. And it's kind of hidden in there, pretty hard to get to. Alright, if you can't get it from the bottom, you can get it from the top. Turn this way. All the 5 bolts are removed. Just move this little thing right in, this arm for the AC, and then you can remove the plastic cover that way. It just comes off there. All right, guys. Quick inspection after removing the timing belt cover. As you can see, it's filthy dirty. Damn. All that oil, dirt, little debris, all that dirty stuff. Just make sure when you're installing the cover back, you install it properly, and all the gaskets are properly set. Make sure you have all the bolts you need. I know I'm missing one up there, and again, if you're watching this video, whoever did this before, shame on you, man. Shame on you. Alright, remove this. Make sure you put this back on later on before you put the pulley on. Okay? Alright, next we're going to remove the belt. This is actually, lose that thing in. It's so loose. Look at that. Oh my god. Good thing we're going to change in this sucker. Alright guys, let me show you how I take this sucker out, the tensioner bolt. Because sometimes it gets pretty tight up there, man. This bolt right here. Alright, sometimes pretty tight. So what I did, get Mr. Piper up in here. Mr. Piper over here. Put a 1/2" ratchet. Got it hooked up like that. And I got just enough angle to crack it loose. Alright, down at the tensioner. Alright, if you're not replacing this part right here, alright, to loosen the belt tension, you want to pull pulling this tensioner down, all the way down. All right, that's the loose position. Then tighten up the 14 mil bolt right here. Once it's tight, oh, then you're good, man. This belt should be hella loose. You can just take it out. All right. All right, so with the belt tension loose, you can pretty much take out the belt pretty easy. Just want to slide it out. Slide it out. Boom. Done, man. Next, remove the tensioner. Remove the spring as well. All right, next up, we're gonna remove the gear, crankshaft gears, to install the new seal. Remove the two bolts right here. This is a longer bolt. This is a shorter bolt. I cleaned up the area just a little bit, and now I'm just gonna remove this gear. And then we're gonna remove the seal. I'll just pry up in there until it comes out. There it is. Go ahead and install the new one, the new seal. Just pops in there. Alright guys, so the way I put the seal on, I use the crank bolt removal tool. Alright, fits right in there. And I slightly just tap this with a hammer. If you got a rubber mallet or whatever, that's perfect, but I'll just use a hammer. If not, if you don't have one, then you use an extension, like a 1/2 inch extension, and put it around the corner where it's sticking out, and just lightly tap it with a hammer. I'm gonna remove the cam gear so we could replace the seals, and so I can get to this back piece right here, the back timing belt cover. I'm gonna replace that as well. All right, so to get this off, I'm gonna use a wrench. This one actually fits perfectly, man. Awesomeness, dude. And then a 12 mil socket to remove it. So you're just gonna hold it down and then crack it open. Oh, there it is. Nice. All right, so when you're removing the cam gear, just be careful. There'll be another box key in there. Don't lose that key. Don't lose that key. All right, so there's another key right there on top. And my cam gear is hella dirty, hella dirty, hella dirty. Again, right there, there's a key right there. Don't lose that. Careful. You slide that sucker out. You put it somewhere safe and secure. Alright guys, let's take a look at the different keys when you're removing your timing belt. This is for the sprocket. It's shaped like this. As you can see, it's totally different size from the gear from the crank bolt, from the crankshaft. Look at that. Make sure you put it correctly. There's two that goes in here, and then one that goes in there. Alright. Okay, to take the plastic cover, the timing belt cover, there's two 10 mils. It's behind this plastic right here. One right here, right there, where my finger is at. Okay, and then there's another one right here underneath. All right, take those two off, and this timing belt cover back piece, it just comes out. And next we're gonna remove the water pump. It's gonna be 10 mil bolts. One's gonna be right here. This one's a long bolt. This is a short one. And behind the gear, behind this gear, there's one up top over here. It's a long 10 mil as well. And this one right here, right? This one, and this one right here. All 10 mils. short, short, long, short, and the one behind that, it's long. Alright guys, before you pry on the water pump, alright, I just loosen all the bolts. I'm not gonna take all the bolts out, but I'm just gonna pry it just a little bit because there's gonna be a lot of coolant that's gonna drain over here before you get ready to get wet, because all the coolant is gonna coming down here. So make sure you got your pan ready and your floor's protected, unless you want to clean up a lot after. Then you get a pry bore and just pry that thing up. Just like that. Boom. So I'm gonna let it drip for now, and then I'll be back later. Alright, before you put the water pump on, apply a thin layer of Permatex silicone on it, or you can use any silicone, whatever you prefer. I'm using Permatex though. Alright, real quick to make my life easier, I removed the two cam sprockets and then the back piece for the timing belt cover. And after that, you got plenty of room over here to work with. I removed the tensioner, then I removed the water pump and reinstalled the back, and tighten it snugly, just snug, from the two long bolts first, one up top, then the bottom, then the short ones, one here, here, and lastly this one right here. All right, left it there for an hour so the silicone will bond, and went back and torqued it 8.7 pounds. Then the tensioner 40 pounds. Then you can work back on the crank ball, or not ball, but the gear. Don't forget the key when you put it back. And also don't forget to clean all the parts, all right, before you install everything. Then you can go back up here and work on the seals for the cam sprockets, and I'll reinstall it back. Alright, next install the gear back. Make sure there is a key there. Alright. Make sure the key is there, okay? Then put back the gear. Boom. Perfect. Alright, to take these cam seals, man, just use a flathead. Actually use a combination of flathead and the hook tool, because these things tend to get stuck there if they're in there for too long. I'll stick a Phillips or flathead, stick a flathead in there. Just pry it. Gotta pry it out slowly. There you go. So I'll pry it against this metal piece right here. And slightly pop it up that way. Do it on the other side as well. All right. Did it back and forth, and boom, out she goes, man. Easy peasy. After you remove the seal, just make sure you clean the inside, because sometimes you get some of the pieces from the actual old seal in it. Just clean it up. All right, the way I did my seals, I started from the bottom. All right, and then turn it and spin it until it goes in there. Once it's in there, then I'm just gonna slightly tap it. it is. Perfect. All right, once again, start from the bottom. All right, and you spin it counterclockwise. Once you get it in there, just grab like a flat rubber piece and push it in there. Yep, just like that. Push it in there all the way in until you got it in, then you're good to go. Just like that. You see this line right here? That's where the back timing belt cover will come in contact with this piece right here, metal piece. You want to make sure these are very clean when you put it back on. Okay, it goes all the way down there, and it pretty much connects, or it goes on top of the water pump right here. I'll zoom in that one. Yep. All right. Make sure all those metal surfaces are clean before you install it back. Alright, so when you're installing the back timing belt cover, you want to check the distance between the cam sprocket and the belt cover. See that over there? Got little gaps over there? You want it that way. Okay, so it's very important not to over tighten the bolt, the 10mm bolt underneath. So I'm just using this to tighten it. And see, I'm loosening it up right now, and you can see that this piece is moving apart from the cam sprocket, and by tightening it, it's actually moving towards the cam sprocket. So just be careful when you're tightening the bolt. Okay, if it's too close, then just stop. See, right now it's perfect on both sides, there and there. All right, just keep that in mind so don't over tighten. Installing the cam seals, you could reinstall the sprockets back. Don't forget this little key right here. All right, so the pointy part goes in first. Okay, just like that. All right, go ahead and torque the cam sprockets 27 pounds. All right, so we're gonna install the new tensioner and the spring. So the spring has one little hook, and the other opposite side has a big hook. You're gonna put the big hook on this metal piece right here. All right, just like that. Then grab your tensioner. You're gonna hook that to the little one. All right, so now it's hanging like that, and then this hole right here, this hole right there, you're gonna put it right here, okay? All right, so when you put back the tensioner, all right, just pull it down to the loose position and tighten the bolt up. It'll make your life easier later on when you install the belt. All right, just like that. I almost forgot, reinstall the bracket as well, okay? Sensor, the crank sensor. Okay. This rubber piece just snaps in there, man. Just push it in there. All right, remember this is a long bolt and this is the shorter one right here. All right, let's just install this new belt. All right, I'm gonna start from the bottom. So slide that in there, just like that. Okay, then to keep it in place, I'm gonna put a flathead. Just gonna jam it in there so it doesn't move. Then hook this to the tensioner. All right. Then we'll go to the water pump. All right. Once that's in place, all right, we're gonna go up top. Next, grab this sucker right here on the side. Just stretch it out as much as I can. Okay. Tell you, man, putting these belts in really suck, man, because they really just fits in there like it's supposed to be perfect, you know. But once you get in there, all right, it just fits in there snug, like really perfectly. There you go. All right, once again, you start from the crankshaft, sprocket, to the tensioner, to the water pump, and then to the exhaust cam, and then the intake cam. Okay. For some reason, if you can't put it in here in the sprocket, just get your 12 mil socket. You can move this sprocket just a little bit for it to actually fit in there. You can do it on both sides to adjust them so that you can fit the belt in there. All right. All right. So once you got the new belt installed, obviously we gotta put the crank bolt back in. So we gotta tighten that sucker down. So to do that, put your two drill bits back in those holes, and then I also put the old belt and just stuck it in the corner so I can tighten this by hand. You don't have to tighten it that much, just enough so you can turn the crankshaft. All right, we're gonna turn the engine about 6 times just to check for alignment and all that good stuff. Make sure it's not hitting the pistons or not hitting the valves and stuff like that. All right, just make sure you remove the drill bits before you rotate the engine. Don't forget to do that. All right, next up, we're gonna turn the crank 6 revolutions just to determine if they have proper alignment. All right, so already turned the crank about 5 times. So my 6th will be my last one. I'm gonna stop right here. So you want the 3rd tooth to stop right here. This one right here, okay? Reason why is up top, this is gonna be tight, and this is gonna be tight right here, down below. You want this tight, okay? Once it's tight, then go ahead and loosen the tensioner about 1/2 a turn, and it's gonna make this side right here very tight, or not very tight, but just tight enough. And then we're gonna turn the crank so we'll pass the TDC line on the 3rd tooth, the 3rd one. So 1, 2, 3. It's gonna be this one right here, okay? So from the blue line, 1, 2, 3. All right, the 3rd line. Once we pass that, then go ahead and tighten up the tensioner bolt. 40-pound, torque it. All right, so for the deflection of the belt, the tension, you want it about 1/2 a turn, and then if you firmly press on this one, okay, want it to go down about 3/4 inch, and then down here you want this to deflect about 1/2 an inch. Yeah, that's turning right there. See that? That's perfect, man. That's how you want it. So about 1/2 an inch deflection. All right. So once you're satisfied with the belt tension, all that good stuff,
all the timing is correct. Go ahead and put back your, well, that's what I did anyways, man. I put back my belt, my old belt in there, because we're gonna have to remove the crank bolt. Okay, so we'll start putting the other stuff back in. Put your 2 drill bits up top, and I will remove this.
Alright guys, so after removing the crank bolt, this drill bit might be stuck, so to remove it, you just want to put your ratchet in there and move it just a little bit, depending what direction you need to go. There you go, off.
Alright, next up we're gonna reinstall the lower timing belt cover. Alright, before you do that, make sure all these line in the housing, it's clean, all the surfaces are clean. That one right there. And on the cover itself, alright, this part right here, it's very important that it sits on top of this part right here, okay? See that line on the back timing belt cover? Make sure it sits on top of that. Alright, you don't want it to overlap. Alright, otherwise it's gonna cause problems later. Okay?
Alright guys, so when installing back the lower timing belt cover, I found it easier to start with the bolt with the bracket. Alright, then after you bolt that in, check the corner over here. This corner right, make sure it snaps in. Once that's good, start it in the middle bolt right here, and then the 3 bolts down below. Alright.
Alright, next we're gonna put back the crank pulley. Don't forget about the key or the timing belt guide first. Okay, make sure the curved part inside, it's facing away from the belt. So this side right here. So sucker back, belt guide in. Next is the key, little Woodruff key. Alright, that sucker's in. Now I put back the crank pulley. Alright, just like that. Okay, good to go. Just put the bolt back in. I'm gonna torque the sucker 130 pounds. Oh yeah. Put your crank bolt remover tool back on. Alright, support it again with a breaker bar, and we'll torque this thing.
And up top, in the back, you see the arrows are pointing to the square part. Square part, both sides. Alright. Both are timing marks in the middle, aligned with the back cover of the timing belt. Alright, both lines are even. Alright, so this belt is good to go, man. Alright, we'll start putting back the other stuff. Okay, to install the alternator belt, you want to slide the belt into the crank pulley in the bottom, and then to the alternator pulley. Just slide it in there over the top, and it should fit in there. And then next we'll adjust the tension. You're gonna put your pry bar between the alternator and this metal piece, just like that, and just push away. See how the alternator is moving? Let's tighten it up. So between the alternator pulley and the crank pulley, you want to push all the way down firmly, and if it's 1/4 of an inch, then you're good to go. Like right now it is. If you want to know what 1/4 is on a ruler, okay, it's second one right there. Okay, you want it to be that much deflection. Okay, all right, so once you're satisfied with the tension, go ahead and tighten up that bolt, and then tighten up the one in the bottom, and you're good to go. So for the AC belt, again, start from the crank pulley, then the compressor, and put it over here. Once it's there, you're gonna start moving this screw bolt right here. All right, and it's gonna tighten it up. Okay. All right, so just keep turning this screw bolt. All right, it's gonna lift this arm right here, okay? While tightening the belt as well. Once again, you want about a quarter. When you press down, okay, press down firmly. You want about a quarter to go down, 1/4 of an inch, okay? Once you're satisfied with that, okay, tighten this nut and then tighten the bolt over here. All right, down below, notice when I'm pressing firmly between the two pulleys, see that's about 1/4. All right, so to install a new mount, you want to use the hydraulic jack. We're gonna lift up the engine. Can't put this thing on, just lower it. All right, once it's on, then lift the engine up little by little. The way I like to install these motor mounts back is, put the washer in first. All right, and I'm gonna make sure the motor mount's in the middle. Okay. I'm gonna put back the bolt. I'm just gonna hand tighten it up. Okay. Once it's in the middle, I'm just gonna tighten it up by hand. And I'm gonna make sure I can still spin it around, okay? So, putting the 14 mil bolts will be easier later on when I lift up the engine. With the lower engine mount installed, go ahead and put back your engine mount. Don't forget 17 mil nuts over here and then 3 bolts around 14. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you took this bracket off for the power steering tank, just go ahead and install it back 2 10 mils. All right, let's get this power steering back online. Alright, pull it towards us again. Just like that. Voila. We'll put the 2 12 mil bolts. The one in the bottom. Alright, so for the power steering belt, I like to just put this down here, okay, without crimping it. Alright, between the engine mount and the power steering pulley, okay? And I'm just going to leave it right here, and then you're going to wrap it around the crank pulley and then back up top over here. Alright, and then if you want to fit this sucker in here, okay, you want to push the power steering, okay, away from you, and you should be able to slide that sucker in there just like that. Okay, the tension disc, you're going to get a 1/2 inch ratchet, fits right in here. Fits right in there, okay? See how you see if when I'm putting some force in it, it's tightening it up. That's what you want. This one, you're looking for 1/4 of an inch of deflection. All right. Okay, once you're satisfied with that tension, gonna tighten up the one in the bottom. It'll lock it in place. Boom. Alright, so next up, we're going to be replacing all the seals. Should be 7 of those. Spark plug gaskets and the valve cover gasket. Okay, replace all of those. See the old one right here? We're going to take that out. And spark plug seal, if it's not here, it's still in your engine. You might want to remove that. Just use a flathead. Just check mine. Alright, mine's still right here. So I'm just going to grab a flathead slightly. Okay, and there you go, just like that. Once it's up, you can just take it out by hand now. There you go. All right, and then when you put the new gasket on, right, just make sure you put silicone on the corners. These are the corner caps. Okay. All right, you want to put that on the actual on the engine, not here, but on the engine, right here. You want to put it in the corners. So one right there, here. Here, this side right here, this side right here, this side right here, and this side right there. Okay. All right, man. All right. So to remove these suckers, man, what I did was I just grabbed a Phillips, right, and just pressed on the rubber part and slightly, just trying to pry it up slowly. Okay, to loosen it up. Once it's loose, it'll just pop right up. You also do this angle, just to loosen it up. See? Alright, just like this one right here. That one just pops out. Pry up on it. Boom. Put the valve cover on. Reinstalled my spark plugs on. Don't forget about this bracket right here. This bracket right here, the ground, make sure it's inside, not over this, okay? And the latch, this little bracket right here, all right? Then you can torque them if you want. I think it's about 7.2 pounds, but I didn't. I just tightened them up snug. And yeah, just start from here, here, and that one, man. That's how I did it. Anyways, forget about this bracket right here, the throttle cable, this bracket right here, okay, when you're installing it back, PCV valve, the air tube, okay, and the 14 mil nut or bolt over here that connects the power steering. Don't forget about that. Next up, I'm going to install this, what is this gray box over here, and then I'll put the negative back on, and then we'll crank up the car and see if it blows up. Yeah. Alright guys, I forgot about the cruise control. Don't forget about this one. Alright, install that back. Don't forget the 210 mils over there, and put these tubes back in this place. Alright, that's it then. Oh Lord, please let this shit start. Alright, so I didn't put any coolant yet. Just want to make sure it's running, and it's running. Alright guys, so the car's running good. Sounds perfect. I didn't hear any squeals or anything like that. I didn't hear like pistons hitting valves, so it's pretty good. I love it. So now, what I got left is I'm just gonna put some coolant in here. Put some coolant and bleed the system out. And sure is good to go, man. All right, guys, I hope this helps. Appreciate it, man. If you guys got a CRV and want to see more CRV videos, man, please subscribe, man. Appreciate it, man. And hit that like button, man. Boom. Peace.